Hello, my viewers all over the world, most especially for Nigeria fellow. Those people who are preparing for JAM, preparing for NECO, preparing for WAEC, preparing for any external exams. This video is for you. Now, I have a basic topics that you need to concentrate when you are preparing for these exams. All right, more especially for JAM. If you are preparing for these external exams, there are major topics that you need to focus, channel most of your energy to. What are these topics? Number one, the major important, one of the most important topic that every examiner will always like to set a lot of questions is stoichiometry. Stoichiometry. In that stoichiometry, we have mole concepts. Very, very important. In that mole concept, we have different parameters in solving mole. Mole when mass is given, calculating mole of a solution, calculating mole when volume is given, calculating mole of ideal gas, and calculating mole of particle. Do you get that? Using Avogadro's constant. Do you understand? Those are mole concepts. A video of that is in my YouTube channel. Just go there, type mole concept by Ojemai on YouTube. You'll see that video there. Now we now go into stoichiometry proper. In that stoichiometry, we have, remember, stoichiometry have to do with mass, volume, and mole. Mass, volume, and mole. And in that stoichiometry, we have relationship. All right, we have mole relationship, we have mole mass relationship, we have mole volume relationship. We now come to mass. We have mass relationship, we have mass mole relationship, we have mass volume relationship. We now come to volume. We have volume relationship, we have volume mole relationship, and volume mass relationship. All those relationships you will be asked. A video on how to understand stoichiometry is in Ojemai YouTube channel. You can just search there stoichiometry by Ojemai. That video is there. Remember, this period you have to prepare smarter, not study harder. Do you get that? Now, first topic I have just mentioned is what? Stoichiometry. The next topic that you see a lot of questions in your external exam is organic chemistry. Organic chemistry. Under the organic chemistry, remember, you need to know the various functional group. We have alkane, we have alkene with double bond, we have alkyne with triple bond, we have alkanol with OH functional group, we have alkan1, we have alkanal, we have alkanoic acid, we have ester known as alkanoate. Do you get that? Then those are the ones that you need to focus. And we also have benzene. Do you get that? We have benzene. Is very common in exam, especially that benzene. They will ask you, why does benzene not undergo addition reaction? Instead, you prefer to go what? Substitution reaction. Do you get that? So you need to study those organic, know their various functional group and their formulas. Do you get that? Know the formula of alkane, which is normally CnH2n plus 2. Know the formula of alkene, which is what? CnH2n. You know the formula of alkyne, which is what? CnH2n minus 2. Know all the various formula, and also know isomerism. Isomerism, just know that isomerism will always start from the isomer will always start from 4. You get that? Carbon number 4. Anything less than 4 only have one isomer. Remember, isomerism is a compound having the same molecular formula but different structural arrangement. Is that understood? Isomerism. No isomerism, geometric isomerism, more especially when you have to do with butene. That is a trans isomerism and cis isomerism. No isomerism. There's no way you can see question on isomerism. So go and study iso. We have different types of isomerism: structural isomerism, functional isomerism, position isomerism. All those ones are various types of isomerism. Go and study it. Know their various reactions. Okay. Now, no empirical formula is under this topic. Empirical formula. How do you calculate your empirical formula? Is very common. There is no exam that they will not say empirical formula. No molecular formula. molecular formula. Molecular formula will also what? With vapor density. Do you understand? Then the next thing, you have to know your petroleum. Petroleum is still under this topic. All right, still under this organic chemistry. Petroleum, you have to know what anti-knock agent is. You have to know the octane number. All those ones, they are all component. We have also component of petroleum, where we have gasoline, we have kerosene, fuel. All those ones, they are component of one. So just read it one time. They are all under organic chemistry. It's very broad, so it becomes the second most asked question topic. Do you get that? A topic that is question that used to come out from that topic are very much. So the third topic that you have to know is periodic table. Periodic table is very important. In that periodic table, we have know the element in group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4, most especially the short form of the periodic table. Right, look at the groups and the periods. Know their various which one undergo oxidation. Remember the metal and the non-metal. We have the alkali metal, we have the alkali earth metal, we have the halogens, and we have the noble gas. So just know the one that are all reacting, more especially the noble gases, or call it rare gases. Do you understand? They are not always reactive. Just know what they undergo. Some of them lost electrons, some of them gains electrons. Those ones that lost electrons, they are the metals. Metal always lost electron to become what? Positively charged. Why non-metal always gain electron to be what? To be negatively charged. Are you following? Are you following? Now know the electronic configuration of this various stage. Know the electronic configuration of ion. That is ionic, maybe calcium ion and calcium neutral. That is neutral atom and ionic atom. Do you understand? Sure, you have to know their various electronic configuration. Know the number of paired, unpaired, and paired electron in their shell. Just take note of that. Then you now know the properties of the periodic table. Properties of the periodic table, where we have atomic size known as atomic radius. We have ionization energy. We have electron affinity. We have electron negativity and metallic property. Know the property of the periodic table. Which one decrease down the group and increase across the period? Which one increase across the period and decrease down the group? So you must be able to know that. All those videos are in my YouTube channel. Just type there, okay, this was also thing by Ojen Mike. Do you understand? Do you understand? Then the next topic that you're going to focus, that is a number 3 topic. Okay, under that still periodic table, let me combine this one to look at chemical bonding. Chemical bonding is included here because for an atom to lose electron, it is because of what? Chemical bonding. So know the various bonding type. Know ionic bonding, a bonding type that includes metal and non-metal. Know covalent bonding. You have to a bonding type that have to do with shared pairs of what? Electron. Shared pairs of electron equally, like hydrogen gas, chlorine gas. That is covalent bonding. You have to know dative bonding. Dative bonding is a special type of covalent bonding exhibited by what? Ammonia to what? Ammonium. So just take note of that. No hydrogen bonding. Hydrogen bonding is a special type of bonding where small electronegative element is being attached with what? With hydrogen. Example, we have nitrogen, oxygen, and fluorine. They are the small electronegative element. So when these small electronegative elements are directly linked with hydrogen, they form hydrogen bonding. Do you understand? So know the various type of what? Bonding. Also know the shape of what? Molecule. It is very important. While you are knowing covalent bonding, you should also know the shape of an atom. The shape of an atom. Is it a linear shape? Is it a bent shape? Is it a trigonal planar or a trigonal pyramidal? Is it a tetrahedral shape? Also know their bond angle. If you are looking at this chemical combination, also know the various shape of this molecule. Do you understand? Bent, linear, all those ones, they are topic under chemical combination and also periodic table joined together. So it becomes what? The number 3rd topic that you need to consider. It is very important. Then the next topic that you need to know, very important, is gas law. Gas law. It becomes what? Number 4th topic that you need to know. Under that gas law, We have Boyle's law, Charles law, general gas law, Avogadro's Gay-Lussac or pressure law. We have ideal gas law. We have Graham's law, and we have Avogadro's law. Under the various gas law, the one that you need to focus more on this one. You might see question in Boyle's law, few question. Charles law, few question. General gas equation is a little bit, there are some times that you don't see questions. We also have pressure law, few questions. But the one that has the highest question is ideal gas equation. Ideal gas equation. We have ideal gas. We also have Graham's law. Graham's law has a lot of questions. The rate of diffusion of a gas is inversely proportional to what? Its density or molar mass. So you'll be given rate of either rate, time, or volume to what? To calculate. So go and study that Graham's law and what? And ideal gas equation. Please go and study it in gas law. So the next topic, that is our fourth topic. The fifth topic that you need to know is redox equation. Redox equation. Oxidation, reduction, reaction. Oxidation, reduction. You must be able to identify which one undergo oxidation, which one undergo reduction. Is that understood? Now, in that redox equation, the one that undergo oxidation is what? Is a reducing agent. Any substance that undergo oxidation is what? A reducing agent. You must be able to identify that. Any substance that undergo reduction, that substance is what? Oxidizing agent. Identify that and you know how to a little bit balance equation. Sometimes they don't normally ask it, but you must ask the word to identify which one undergo reduction, which one undergo oxidation. It become what? Number fifth topic that you need to consider. I'm telling you that when you are reading this period that you are reading for your external exam, you need to concentrate more on those topics that every examiner will wish to set questions. Now the number fifth, is it fifth or sixth? Fifth or sixth topic that you need to know is electrochemistry. Electrochemistry. What is electrochemistry? Electrochemistry has to do with what? Electrolysis. And the chemical decomposition of a compound where electric current pass through it is what? Is electrolysis. And now substance that decompose or conduct electricity is what? Electrolyte. You must be able to know the various electrolytes. We have acid as electrolyte, we have base as electrolyte, we have salt as electrolyte, both weak or strong electrolyte. Know the one that are not electrolytes. Example, we have glucose is not electrolyte, ethanol is not electrolyte, urea is not electrolyte. You should be able to differentiate the one that are electrolyte and the one that are what? Non-electrolyte. In exam, they will always ask you which of these option is not an electrolyte. They will give you the various options here. So just know that glucose, urea, and ethanol are not what? Are not electrolyte. Water is a weak electrolyte. So don't say water is not an electrolyte. Water is what? A weak electrolyte. Know what happened at the cathode. Know what happened at the what? At the anode. Remember, we have electrode. Electrode are wires or conductors that what? That permit the passage of what? Electricity. And now in that electrode, we have innate and innate electrode, and we also have an active electrode made up of zinc and copper and so on. But in that electrode, we have what we call anode and what? Cathode. Cathode is where a reduction will always take place, while anode is where oxidation will always take place. So positive ion will migrate to the cathode. Cathode is a negative electrode. You understand? Cathode is a negative electrode where all positive ion will migrate to the cathode, while all negative ion will migrate to the anode. And when they migrate to the anode, oxidation take place, while those who are positive ion, when they migrate to the cathode, reduction take place. And where does current live? Current leave the battery and enter the cell through the cathodes. Then current leave the cell and enter the battery through the what? Through the anode. So you must be able to distinguish these various things. Now you are going to now look at the different electrolytic cell. We have electrolysis of brine, which is concentrated sodium hydroxide, electrolysis of aqueous sodium hydroxide, and electrolysis of what? Molten sodium hydroxide. Just know that. And also electrolysis of acidified water. Those are the questions. Then electrolysis of copper 2 tetraoxosulfate. Those are the various things that they normally ask in electrolytic cell. Then you now go to Faraday's first law of electrolysis. It's very, very important. When you are, there is no question that there is no exam that they will set that they will not ask you question on Faraday's first law of electrolysis. Is that understood? Under that first Faraday first law of electrolysis, what you need to know on that Faraday first law of electrolysis, you need to know how to calculate mass. You need to know how to calculate quantity. You need to know how to calculate time. You need to know how to calculate current. You need to know how to calculate charge. You have to know how to calculate oscillation number, which is the number of mole. So by the time you gather that, you have settled electrochemistry. Proceeding to the next topic, you need to know is chemical kinetics. Chemical kinetics become the sixth topic that you always see questions. Chemical kinetics. Under the chemical kinetics, we have rate of reaction. Rate of what? Chemical reaction. You know, for every substance to react, the substance must do what? First of all, collide together. When they collide together, they must overcome what? Energy barrier. And that energy barrier is so called activation energy. Activation energy, a minimum amount of energy that is required for a reaction to what? To take place. Now, when they collide, they overcome that activation energy. Then now a product is now what? Is now formed. That is what we call rate of chemical reaction. You know the factors that affect the rate of chemical reaction, including a catalyst. Study catalyst. A catalyst used in Haber process, that is nickel, iron. We have a catalyst used for contact process, a catalyst used for esterification. All those on go and study catalyst. All the videos are in my YouTube channel, Ojemai TV. Then you now proceed into what we call chemical equilibrium, or is this still under the chemical kinetics? Chemical equilibrium, you have to know types of chemical equilibrium, the homogeneous and the heterogeneous. When the reactant and the product are in the same phase, that is gas, reactant gas, product gas, they are what we call homogeneous chemical equilibrium. Then when you have reactant, it is either reactant or product. One of it must be the different phase. Like now, the decomposition of limestone, calcium thiazocarbonate to form what? Pig lime, that is calcium oxide and what? And carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is in a gaseous state, pig lime is in a solid state, and limestone is pig lime is in a solid state, limestone is in a solid state, but carbon dioxide is in what? Is in a gaseous state. So because they are not in the same phase, called what? Heterogeneous chemical equilibrium. You need to know equilibrium constant. How do they find equilibrium constant? Go to Ojemai YouTube channel. They just type the equilibrium constant by Ojemai. A video is there. Study it. Know Le Chatelain principle. Le Chatelain principle say in a chemical system, anytime if a system is in equilibrium and any factor is being altered, do you get that? Any factor is being imposed on the equilibrium. What are these factors? We have change in temperature, pressure, and concentration. It's being altered in the chemical system. The equilibrium will shift in order to annul that effect. Know the factors that affect rate of chemical equilibrium, which are what? We have temperature. Under that temperature, you must be able to know exothermic and what? Endothermic. Do you understand? When something is in endothermic, what does it mean? We are going to look at that in enthalpy, still under this sixth topic. All right. So look at pressure. Change in pressure. What happens when you change pressure? The side with this, when you increase pressure, the side with the smallest number of moles is favored. Do you get that? The equilibrium shoot to the side with what? The smallest number of moles. The same thing goes to what? To concentration. Just know it. Very, very important. Then we now go to enthalpy. Now know what enthalpy is. Know endothermic reaction, exothermic reaction. Which equation can say to be what? Endothermic. It is when heat is being what? Absorbed. And when heat is being released, it is what? It is exothermic, which is normally negative. Exothermic is negative, endothermic is what? Positive. Always know their energy diagram. Energy diagram of exothermic reaction. The product will always be smaller than what? The reactants. While in energy diagram of the endothermic reaction, the product will always be what? Be higher than what? the reactant. So just take note of that. Know the various types of enthalpy. We have heat of combustion, heat of sublimation, heat of neutralization, heat of solution. Know how to calculate it. All those ones, they are in my YouTube channel. Then now go to entropy, the disorderliness of a system. Just take note of that. No gives free energy, the spontaneity of gives free energy that have to do with enthalpy, temperature, and what entropy. Know it. That is what we call chemical kinetics. The next topic that you're going to look at is the number 7 topic that you need to look at. I'm just taking it in order. You understand? The topic in order that you need to focus as a basic chemistry student preparing for what? For any external exam. The next topic that you need to know is what? Acid, base, and salt. Acid, base, though few questions are in acid, few questions are in base. Base sometimes they don't use to ask more, but salt, you see salt, there are a lot of questions in salt. We have different types of salt. We have normal salt, we have basic salt, we have acid salt, we have double salt, and we have complex salt. You must be able to identify a salt that is normal, a salt that is acid, a salt that is basic, a salt that is double, a salt that is what? A complex, which is normally illegal. A complex salt is always illegal. All right. Now, when you must know the solubility rule in salt. Solubility rule, which salt will dissolve in water, which salt will not dissolve in water. That is solubility rule. All those ones, they are in my YouTube channel. Don't type there the name of that thing by Ojemai. It is what? It is there. Then you must know a salt that will dissolve. That is, when it dissolves, which pH can it give you? You must be able to know that. Then in that salt, you must be able to know pH range, how to calculate pH. Very, very important. Very, very. I have a different short method of calculating pH. It is there. How to calculate pH. Check my YouTube channel. Then you must be able to know the characteristics of some of these salts. When we have a fluorescent, when you have hygroscopic, and when we have a fluorescent, hygroscopic, and deliquescent. So just know that drying agent, you must be able to differentiate that. Do you understand? The next topic after that, okay, see on that topic, you must be able to know acid-base titration question. Problem will. Now, the next topic that you need to know is what? Water, solution, and solubility. Very, very important. You must know the separation method of water. You get that? You have coagulation, look at filtration, look at sedimentation. All those ones, they are physical processes of what? Separating what? Of water. You must know them. It is very, very important. You have to know water hardness. Very important. Water hardness. Don't forget temporary water hardness, permanent water hardness. What are the two ions that causes water hardness? We have magnesium ion, calcium ion. Know it. Very, very important. Know how can you separate this water hardness, permanent and temporary water hardness. You have to know it. Know solution. What do you understand by solution? True solution, false solution, collider solution. You must be able to know it. Then you now know solubility curve. Know how to calculate your solubility. Solubility in most PDNQ, solubility in gas PDNQ, and solubility in mass. When you are given solubility and you now ask to calculate the mass, all right, you must be able to know it. Know what we call solubility curve. Question on solubility curve. Very, very important. Then the next topic, that is number 9th topic, is what? Metal and its compound. You must be able to know the characteristics of what? Of metal. Know what happened, the reactivities of this metal. Know the alkali metal, the alkali earth metal. Know what is done, the reactivity of this one, and also know the position of it. Do you get that? Now remember, the metal that are most reactive are always separated or are always extracted using what? Electrolysis process. Why metal that are less reactive, like copper and the red iron, they are extracted using what? Using reduction process. You must be able to know it. Remember, metal are gotten from their what? They are all. You must know the various of what? Of metal. Where we have the bauxite for aluminium, hematite for iron, copperite for copper, cassiterite for tin. You must be able to know it. Know the metal you need to focus more is what? Is iron. Iron is very, very important. Know when iron, this hematite is being put in the what? In the blast furnace. They add this hematite, they add coke, this is carbon, they add what? Add limestone. So what really happened at the various stage of the extraction. You must be able to know the various equation. Then after that, of course, three types of iron is being produced: cast iron, wrought iron, pig iron, and steel. You must be able to know it. Know also your alloy. Alloy is very, very important. The combination of metal, metal, or sometimes metal and non-metal form what we call alloy. Very, very important. Know the various alloy. We have bronze. What is made up of bronze? Know brass. The alloy that is what brass. What element is made up of brass? Know duraluminum. Look at alloy of we have solder. We have steel, iron, and carbon. So all those ones, they are to be taken into what consideration. Then the next topic, you need to know what non-metal and their compound is very, very important. In non-metal, then you have carbon, hydrogen, chlorine, sulfur, nitrogen, and what, and oxygen. So six metal, six non-metal, but among these six non-metal, concentrate on four: oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur, and what, and chlorine. Do you understand? Very, very important. So concentrate that. Then the next topic that you need to know, that is number 10th 11th topic, is what? Separation technique. How do you separate your a mixture? We have different types of separation technique, about 15 of them. You must know it. The one that is mostly asked in exam, every exam, is what? Chromatography, simple distillation, fractional distillation, separation funnel. So you must be able to know crystallization. You must be able to know all of those one. So these are the major topic that you need to know. We also have other topic which you can read it minimal, but the major one I have just listed out. So go and study it more and more and more and more. No, remember, in that organic chemistry side, we also have synthetic plastic. We have vulcanization. Vulcanization is when you apply sulfur to what, to rubber. Is what vulcanization. You must know, you know it. You must know you must know your of course I mentioned vulcanization. You must know of your plastic. You must know of your polymer. All those ones, you must take them into consideration. That is all you need to know, but go and read the rest. But the major one that I have just mentioned is the one that you need to focus more on it. Thank you very much, and God bless you.